perfect for interstellar communication. But we're just too primitive to know about it yet. So what should you do? Should you just stop what you're doing? Stop using the technology you have? No, I don't think so. I think at any moment you should do what you can with the technology you have in hand, and then figure out how to survive, how to stay around long enough as a technological civilization until you do detect zeta rays.
Even our nearest star, the sun, its emissions suffer the tyranny of light speed. It takes a full 8 minutes for its radiation to reach us, and the nearest star is 4.2 light years away, which means its light takes 4.2 years to get here. And the edge of our galaxy is 75,000 light years away, and the nearest galaxy to us, 2.5 million light years. That means any signal that we detect would have started its journey a long time ago. And a signal will give us a glimpse of their past, not their present, which is why Phil Morrison calls SETI the archaeology of the future. It tells us about their past, but detection of a signal tells us it's possible for us to have a long future. Over the millennia, we've seen where tribalism leads. We've seen what happens when we divide an already small planet into smaller islands. And ultimately, we actually all belong to only one tribe, to Earthlings. And SETI is a mirror that can show us ourselves from an extraordinary perspective and can help to trivialize the differences among us. If SETI does nothing but change the perspective of humans on this planet, then it will be one of the most profound endeavors in history. Thank you.
There's this idea that if we find life elsewhere, that we here on Earth wouldn't feel so lonely.
I don't have that sense of loneliness. I only have a sense of wonder and wanting to know the answer about whether the laws of chemistry and physics that operated here to produce an intelligent species that could look up and explore, whether they did it elsewhere. It seems to me quite reasonable that given similar conditions, and we can't actually define how similar they have to be, but given similar conditions, chemistry and physics are going to work out the same way. And so I'm not lonely. I'm just curious. Suppose that within this solar system, when we have the capability, we detect that life originated somewhere else in this one tiny planetary system, right? A second Genesis. Well, that tells you that life is going to happen everywhere where conditions are anywhere similar. We're going to know that life is ubiquitous. Someday, in our future as humanity, we may, in fact, venture to the stars, if that is possible, and we may detect life that way, or detect intelligent life that way. There's a great adventure awaiting us, and I think that we should embrace it and not be frightened by it.
Astronomer Jill Tarter, she ran SETI for a decade. In 2009, she won the TED Prize, a grant of $100,000 to help her expand her search for life beyond Earth. To find out more about how her search is going, visit ted.npr.org.